Hey guys, I'm Abby and this is my channel, and today is Cinco de Mayo, so it's kind of big here in Texas. We have a lot of Tex-Mex and Mexican influence because we are very close. So we love to celebrate Cinco de Mayo probably more than the Mexicans do. So today I'm going to make some tacos to celebrate Cinco de Mayo, and I'm going to show you guys how to make some homemade tortillas because they make it so much better. And they're super simple. So I'm gonna make both corn and flour tortillas, but we're gonna start with the flour because it does need to rest for a bit, and it's a little more complicated, but not too hard. But first I have just under 3 cups of flour here, and then I have 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and I'm gonna pour that in and whisk it together. So next I'm going to add in my fat content. You can use butter and other things, but I have vegetable shortening, and this is 6 tablespoons, and I cut them just into tablespoon pieces. I'm going to add them in, and this is where it can get a little dirty because I'm going to use my hands to just mix them together and crumble them up. I know a lot of people like going to Mexican places and eating Tex-Mex food on Cinco de Mayo, drinking lots of margaritas. Kind of a big minor holiday here. It is called Tex-Mex for a reason. Got a lot of Texas influence along with the Mexican Hispanic culture mixed in. So I've mostly mixed in. The shortening is kind of crumbly, so I'm just going to wash my hands real quick, and then we will add in the hot water and stir it with a spoon to make the dough. So I have hot water here. It's about 3/4 of a cup or 2/3 of a cup, and I'm just gonna pour in a little and stir it in with the spoon a bit, and then keep adding. So now that the dough's mostly together, I'm gonna put it on to my counter and then use my hands to form it into a ball. And since the dough is together, I'm just going to knead it a bit just to get it real kind of mixed in and smooth. So now that I've got my dough into a ball, we're going to cut it into 12 different pieces, which is how many tortillas we're going to make. Which a simple way to do that is just cut it into quarters and then cut each quarter into 3 pieces, which makes 12. And then I'm going to take each piece and roll it into a ball and then set it on a plate. Of course, I'm just kind of rough cutting these, so they're not all going to be the exact same size, but you can adjust if there's too big of a difference in the sizes once the dough balls are made and you put them on the plate. So now that I have my 12 little dough balls for my tortillas later, I'm going to cover them in plastic wrap and then put them into the fridge. You need to keep them in there at least 30 minutes, but the recipe says it can last up to 3 days. So while the flour tortillas are in the fridge, I'm going to clean up real quick, and then we can start making the corn tortillas because they're very simple and very quick, and we can do it while the flour tortillas are resting. Alright, so now I'm going to make the corn tortillas. Basically all we need is the masa harina, which is basically corn flour, and we're going to put 2 cups of that into this bowl. Next, we're going to add in just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to whisk that together real quick. And then we have a 1.25 cups of warm water again, and we're going to add this in and slowly use our hands to make it into a ball. Alright, so now that we've made our dough, put it into a ball. We're going to leave it in here and then cover it with a damp paper towel and leave it sitting for about 20 minutes. And then we can start cooking them. So while our corn tortillas are still resting, I got out my flour tortillas that are already shaped in their balls. And so we're going to use the same technique to roll out our tortillas. Right here I just have some parchment paper, and then I have another sheet of parchment and a rolling pin. I'm just going to set one piece down and then one on top, kind of flatten it a little with my hand, and then take our rolling pin to really shape it into a circle. And it's easier just kind of like hold it down with one hand and then use the other to move the rolling pin. And we're going to do the same thing with the corn. Once it's done, we're going to shape it into balls and then roll it out in between the parchment paper. And you can obviously move the tortilla around to get it a little more even on all the sides. Then once you're done, you just pick it up and then you can set it onto a plate. And then I like to put just a paper towel in between so they don't stick together. And then you keep going until all the tortillas are made. Okay, so I have here all my flour and corn tortillas all nice and rolled out and in a nice little pile. So we are going to head over to the stove and start heating up our pan to cook our tortillas. Okay, so here I have a nice big skillet that's been heated up already, and then I have a nice bowl of oil. I'm just gonna dip a paper towel in it and kind of quickly coat the pan. And I also have a spatula to help flip the tortillas, but I'm just going to one by one place them onto the pan and leave them there for at least a minute until they're ready to flip. And I'm only going to turn it once. So now that it's been there on for a minute, I'm going to take my spatula, flip it over, and then let that side cook. I'm just going to go through and do this for all my tortillas. Once they're done cooking, you can just set them on to a plate and they're ready to serve. Once you are done cooking your tortillas, you can immediately serve them and start dressing your tacos with your favorite ingredients. I have just some pulled grilled chicken, salsa, sour cream, cheese, and lettuce. So there is how you make some corn and flour tortillas so you can make some homemade tacos. I'm gonna enjoy mine right now. But I hope you guys have a great Cinco de Mayo if you celebrate it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next video. Remember, if you want to be someone, why not be you? Bye guys.